Okay, as I said, the guest speaker tonight is Harvey Stein. He's a professional photographer, has been for more years than even he can remember.
I can still remember.
Um, Marilyn, are you going to do the introduction?
Okay. Well, I've known Harvey for a very, very long time. Um, I think um, I think we first met when we were meeting at the Y. It
Yes,
was a long time, very long time ago. And I still have his first books, the very first one on twins, which I recommend. Um, is it still available, like
it's
secondhand?
available. Yeah, it's available from Amazon. Probably not new copies. I mean, it came
Oh,
out in
no.
1978, so all you can get is a used copy, and they probably sell it for $10. It's probably I love that book, and it's very
Mm.
unique and unusual, and yeah, it's a great book. So if you can get it, I'll sign it for you. Let me know. It's probably
Well,
signed to someone else at this point. So
well, Harvey has been working on several really, really long range projects. Some of them, some of them he's been working on for more than 50 years, and he's kind of winding up on them now. And many, many of them have been wound up with a book. Harvey, you now have 10 books. Do you have another one coming up?
I have 10 books. I'm working on three more.
Three more, okay. And
Okay.
Harvey still gives workshops and teaches still at ICP.
Yes.
So he's not done yet. Okay, so if anybody, I'm sure a lot of you are in. Oh, he also does trips, and I've been on a couple of them, and Marlene's been on. Marlene had a wonderful time on hers. So
Yeah.
well, you'll give them some more information
Yeah.
about at when we finish.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to spend more time on that at
Okay.
this point.
Okay. Well, thank you, especially to Marilyn for inviting me again and being a long-term friend. I feel like it's family here. I live on the Upper West Side, and I've lived in this apartment for 39 years. Yikes. And pretty much on the Upper West Side for another 10 years. Originally, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I went to Carnegie Mellon. I got a degree in metallurgical engineering and worked in corporate settings. I came to New York in 1970, 1963, 66. Okay, 66 to go to Columbia. And I have a master's degree in business from Columbia, and worked on World because I didn't really love it. I was doing okay. I was making some money, but it wasn't for me. And I started photographing. I was in the American Army in Germany and bought a Zeiss Icon camera, and started photographing over there. And they had a dark room in the caserne, the post where I was stationed. And I was a second lieutenant and an officer, but I had some free time. And that's how I started my photo career, just traveling around Europe and not fighting. But I didn't like the army either. So, but I would say my first photograph that was successful was taken at Coney Island, and it was published in Life magazine, almost my first picture ever published before I was even a photographer in 1970. Um, I love photography. I'd say it saved my life. I've done 10 books. Um, I teach worldwide in my workshops. I bring people to great places. I'm going to Nepal in a month, and I'm planning a trip to Bangladesh. And and I'm just sending out the invitations, the announcements now in in February. I don't know why Bangladesh. except that I've been reading about it. It's still an amazing, beautiful country full of passion and colors and movement and texture. I'm very excited about going there. So hopefully we'll have enough students. If you're interested, let me know. So tonight I want to show you three projects. I have a lot of photos, so I'm going to try to go through them pretty quickly. Two projects are book projects, and the third is a New York book that I did in 2015 called Briefly Seen, New York Street Life. I figure I'm a street photographer. I like to be out on the streets. I'm shooting. I shot San Gennaro Festival Sunday, yesterday. No, Saturday, 2 days ago. And probably every week I'm out on the street shooting, and I'm still developing my film and making prints in the darkroom. So I still feel very active. The first body of work is Haiti. I took this, I went to Haiti in 1984 with a few friends, photo friends, Bruce Gilden, who you probably have heard of, Crazy Bruce, Charles Gatewood, who you may not have heard of, but he was really well known in the 80s and 90s, and a friend.
Gatewood presented to us many, many moons ago.
Who's that?
Charles Gatewood.
Oh, Gatewood. Yeah, yeah. He was a character.
He was
Actually,
a street photographer shooting portraits.
yeah, yeah, street photographer, and really great guy, good friend. And then he moved to San Francisco, and he's no longer alive. Okay, so I'm gonna show the Haitian work. I have work from India that I've gone to 10 times in the last 12 years to photograph and do a book. These two projects are books in the making. And the third book is my New York book that was published again in 1915. So Haiti to India, back back to New York. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to bring the images. I'm doing this in preview, and I'll go to a large screen. So I always wanted to go to Haiti. I knew about it, of course. I knew it was, I like countries that are not well developed. I don't know, I don't like to call them third world or countries because, I mean, who's to say? But I went for Carnival with these other guys. We were the only white people around. We didn't shoot together. We pretty much walked around on our own. We were in Port-au-Prince, and we went to a town. We rented a car. Actually, we could rent a car in a city. It's a southern city in Haiti called Jacmel, Jacmel. You can see it on the screen, right? And I knew a painter there. Actually, I knew a paint dealer there. Haitian paintings are amazing, folk art. I bought 3 or 4 canvases, and then you could buy these canvases rolled up, painted for $30. And I have 3 or 4 of them still hanging on my wall. So I'm a street photographer, as I said. I use a 21 millimeter lens almost exclusively, black and white, and I like to get close. You can see this is a 21 millimeter lens with a crowd of people watching me. I found some resistance there. I found some curiosity there because I'm not them. There weren't many tourists. Here's a scene in Port-au-Prince, and my friend, I think this is Jim Coleman with his Leica, and I guess we were walking together in a crowd. It was crowded everywhere, and they were curious, and I photographed him giving a lesson to one of the inhabitants. I really like this picture. I like let's see. Yeah, I like him eating his corn, if that's what that is. I love these eyes looking up at me, and then these gestures in the arms and hands, and then the crowd behind. So I try to get close. I'm very close to people. Um, I try to get their attention. I like them looking into the camera. This one I saw where they were not looking into the camera, except maybe this one man behind her. And so I love the light. It was strong light. It's tropical. There aren't many trees in Haiti. They cut them down. That's one of their problems. Again, people just hanging out. They live on the streets almost. Another thing I found was the military and police. This is 1984 again. Papa Doc was the dictator. I'm sorry, Baby Doc was the dictator. He got it from, he got the position from his dad, Papa Doc. And he was not liked, that's for sure. 2 years after I was there, he was deposed. So you can see how they're looking at me. They're a little fierce. This is the presidential palace behind the gate, the fence, and here's a cop eyeing me. I feel I got away with a lot. I was aggressive. I stood my ground. They speak French. I speak English, so that was helpful not to have to communicate particularly with them. And here's another person in mask. This is Carnival, but I think he was a plainclothesman. I mean, he certainly acted like it, as I recall. And look how aggressive he is. Other people, very nice, very calm. Let me photograph them. I would go up. I would nod. I would nod with my camera, and they, if they said nothing, I shot. If they turned their back, I might shoot too. If they put their hand up, I would certainly shoot. I love a hand up in the way, and I'll show you an image there. So again, lots of crowds. Here's a military person. This is the main one of the main streets in Port-au-Prince, and it's all market. It's all market. There's many markets and commerce being done in the streets. These are their sort of buses, these trucks. They're elaborately decorated, very colorful. I didn't shoot color at all. I was not into color. If I would go again, which I'm sure I'm not, I definitely would try to shoot color. I am a black and white photographer, but in India, as you'll see, I shot a lot of color. So this is how they got along and how they did their business. There weren't many shops. I don't know why there's an American flag here. I think this is a military building, and I really like her. If she weren't there, I probably wouldn't have chosen this photograph. It shows a sense of scale and contrast between harsh and soft body, large and small, light and dark. And I love the light. The light was really crucial to what I was trying to do. I found people running a lot. I don't know that they were running away from me, but they were running a lot. And I saw fear on their faces a lot, and not and very a lot of poverty, total poverty, and it's even worse now probably. There, and I like this. I like the, you know, the movement, the arms, the instantaneousness of it, the spontaneity. I think, and the simplicity of it, right? And then here's a painting with the arm. So I did arms a lot, and then the painting. I think so. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. So here's a hand being raised in front of the camera, like, no, don't photograph. And yet she's smiling. So I don't remember exactly who or why this was here, but it didn't bother me at all. And I kind of like that. It's a strong gesture and it's very visual. In focus, out of focus. So a lot of contrast. Rich and here's another person sort of objecting to me photographing. Actually, I would work fast. I didn't ask people. I don't tend to ask. When it's calmer and when we can speak the same language, I usually ask. But mostly here, I would nod and shoot. And if they didn't like it, okay, I got my one shot. Here's another one. She's yelling at me and she's putting her hand up. This is another market in Port-au-Prince. And then again, Carnival. A lot of the costumes were very rudimentary. They're very poor. They don't have a lot of money to put into these. And a lot of them were about military. So maybe they looked up to the military. Maybe they were trying to ingratiate themselves to the military. Maybe they wanted to be in the military. I don't know. And it's kind of crude, but interesting. And this is the final shot I'll show you with this sort of handmade replica of a pistol, not a pistol, a rifle, and his mask. And I think I just asked him to stand against the wall, and I saw her, so I wanted her to be in the photograph. She probably doesn't realize she's being photographed. So my story with this also is I came back after the trip. I made prints, probably over the neck. I had to develop the film. I shot 27 rolls. I made, I didn't know how many prints, but I've since counted them. I've made, I made about 45 prints out of the 27 rolls. So you can see how bad a photographer I am. My batting average is probably 100 or so or less. So anyway, I liked what I had, but you know, it's Haiti and what am I going to do with this? And I put them in an archival box. I have hundreds of archival boxes in my office and filed it away. And I labeled the box. But over the years, I lost them. I couldn't find the box. It turns out I mislabeled the box, and on the box is England. So I always thought about it. Where are they? I looked sometimes, I gave up. So last November, almost a year ago, I was looking for other prints, and I make 8x10 black and white prints. I was looking for other prints, and I found these pictures in that box. Wow. So 40 years ago that I shot this. Yeah, 84, and this was 2024. So they were actually lost. I knew they were here, but where are they? Where I have 25,000 prints in my office. Where are they? So I found them. I had numbers on the back of the prints that correlate with my negative sleeve holders. I found the negatives and the 27 contact sheets. That's numbered also. And I made 19 more, 20 more prints, 19 or 20 more prints. I have 64, 65 prints. And that's why now only am I showing these to try to get a book published. I love these photographs and the prints are beautiful. And I think there's a chance of doing it. There's no market for Haiti in books, I don't think, but there's a market for good photography. And I think the story might help a little. And given what's happened to Haiti 40 years later, it is a lost country, like my photographs were lost. And 1984 has lots of meaning, right? About oppression and dictatorship and lack of freedom. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to take us now to India. I've been going to India since 2013. And I've made 10 trips. I've taken I've done 8 workshops that I've taken people to India on, and I went twice to photograph without the workshops and, be freer to photograph. I've traveled not all over the country. It's a huge country. It's an amazing place. I love it. And here's the best part for a street photographer is 99% of the people want to be photographed. They'll come up to you. They love being photographed. I think they take it as an honor that the tourist or a foreigner, a white person, would want to photograph them. They just like being photographed. It's in their culture. There's no question. Rarely am I refused. So I'm going to run through about 15 of these. I have, in contrast to Haiti, which I only have 64 images, I have 400 images. I started with 3,000 and I've got it now down to 228 images for the book. I might have to reduce that another 20. It's just a joy to be there and to photograph. And it's very safe. It's not clean. It's dirty. You see crazy things, but they like you. They like America. They have relatives here, maybe. A lot of them, I'd say 40% of them speak English, so it's not hard to get around. They're in a tuk-tuk. He's a driver. This must be his granddaughter. She's so sweet looking. And this was in a beautiful city called Udaipur. It's a lake city, kind of in the north. This was at a tribal fair. These pictures I took this year, we were there in February. I had 11 students. I have a travel partner, Margarita Mavro Mikolas, who's from Greece, and she's an amazing photographer in person. And we were there this year, and next year I'm going to Nepal for a change to somewhere else. But look at the colors. And this is at the same fair where they had rides also. So I want to show the people and the environments where they live. This is we went, especially this year, to lots of tribal villages in remote areas. Naturally, we all got sick, most of us. I've never gotten sick there. You have to be careful about what you eat. And I like this photograph because he looks like he's the king. He's in this oversized chair like a throne. And he's just curious about me, and I'm curious about him. Look at his legs and his pants. And it is in a rural area where there's shepherds and lots of animals. This is I'm sorry, I like this photograph. He wasn't ducking. I photographed him every year. I see him almost every year in Delhi, in an area called a neighborhood called Chandri Chowk. It's a very famous neighborhood, like Times Square is a famous neighborhood in the United States. I think he was trying to find something underneath or setting up his stall out on the street with his decorations. And I see him just about every year. It's incredible. This is in a little tribal village. I didn't speak with him, but look how handsome and pretty she is, and how handsome he is. And I don't know if they're married or boyfriend, girlfriend. They could be 22, they could be 26, they could be 18, and very willing to pose, very willing to be there. This is in Delhi, in a Muslim area. So India is 80% Hindu, 17% Muslim. They have Jains, they have a Catholic population, and there's 10 Jews there, right? We visited a synagogue, so there's some Jewish people too. But I don't know why his hands were up, but I saw it and liked it and shot it. This is sort of a grab shot. and you never know, but I like it a lot. And I think this man looking up at him helps. It makes it. I don't usually like backs in a photograph, like this back, but he was too strong to not photograph and like the image. It is a street scene leading to a Muslim mosque. And we went into the mosque and that had other stories. Oops, okay. Okay. This is in Varanasi. Varanasi is one of the oldest cities of the world. It's where they cremate their bodies and put them into the river. I'm drawing a blank on the river. My goodness. Maybe you know, I'll think of it. And this is a religious ceremony called an arti, where monks are on a stage performing with lights and smoke, not performing, but moving. There's maybe 10 monks on this long stage, and it's right at the edge of the river. And this is sort of one of the musicians. And I just loved his eyes closed, the spotlights behind him, rim lighting his hair. It's just a very beautiful, I think, emotional moment. This is in a little village called Chandaleo. Uh, I've visited and stayed at the village several times. The going rate that people make a day is $1. They have a hotel there, and we know the hotel owner, and it's a great hotel actually, and a chance to be in a really remote area where there's shepherds and farmers. And this is another village near there. School kids just got out of the classes, came out on the street, and I like her because she looks like she's reprimanding me, right? She's saying, "What are you doing? Why are you taking that picture?" Well, they were friendly, but and they wanted to be photographed. I don't know what she, but the gesture is what I love, and that's what's important visually. This is in Delhi. So you see people with stuff on their head. I mean, goods on their head. And wow, I love the lighting. I love his drama. How often do you see this? And he just stood there and let me photograph him. Another vendor. This could be in Mumbai. I love the sign. I love the curve, the curve of the sign, and just his face, beautiful face. I don't exactly know, potatoes and bean, I don't know. And he had no business, so he had time for me. I think he's very visual, and the colors again, the red. I realized that upon looking at the image that they're not looking at her, they're looking at me. They're reacting to me and the camera. So again, in America, they'd be whistling at the pretty lady, right? Here, they're more intrigued about by the camera and being photographed. This is at a wedding celebration at this small village, Chandaleo. So one night we were there and we heard music. The weddings are incredible. We've never shot a wedding per se, but we've been on the streets where the weddings are celebrated also. And the weddings can go on for 4 or 5 days. Not that I could do that. And I use flash. I use flash often and just waded right into the crowd. And it was fine. It was fine to do. You see everything on the street. So here is a barber. And I particularly like this because we see what? A bull, a cow. And they're not everywhere. They're not in the huge cities because they would traffic is way too much and they'd be killed by the cars. So as you know, cows are revered, the bulls are revered, and they can go almost anywhere, and you get out of their way. And I just love the way I caught the bull passing by on both sides of the barber, and this whole thing. I'm photographing things in India and events and scenes that you don't see in America. This is a wedding procession that we just happened on. This is in Mumbai, and there was some music. There's flowers. This is the bride, and she was very shy. And I get right in front. I go where I don't belong and get close. Again, so with this is shot with a digital camera, a Canon 5D Mark II, and I have a 16 to 35 millimeter lens. So I'm varying my wide angle lens. This could be 35, 28. It doesn't look like 16. I'm usually at 24, 21 with that lens. I don't have any long lenses. I don't even have a 40, I mean a 50 millimeter. My long lens is the 35. And with my film cameras, my Leicas, it's 21. And I think this might be the last picture I'll show you. And she's at a fair or a festival and selling balloons. And what I like her, I like the guy, I like the face behind the guy. I don't know if that's a real or a poster, but particularly I like the upside down balloon. I thought that was really marvelous. She didn't do it for me. I don't even know that she knew it was there. But so that I've never seen that before, and that's what I'm always looking for, something new and different and unique maybe. And I think it works. I mean, it's a busy photograph, but I think it works. Okay, so this is my New York book. It's called Briefly Seen New York Street Life. It came out in 2015. It's one of my 2 or 3 favorite books of my 10. It didn't sell well. So it's about Midtown New York. So of the 10 books I've done, I believe 6 of them are New York based. I've done 3 Coney Island books. I did a book on Harlem. I did this book on Midtown. And I think there's another book on New York. So 10 books. And all of them black and white, all except I did another book on New Orleans, and that was with an SX70 camera. So Briefly Seen, and I'm going to show, so it's maybe there's 150 photographs. 1/3 of the book is at night with flash, and I'd say 2/3 of the book is with daylight. So, and here I am. I'm in this photograph. Here's my shadow. So look how close I am. I'm really close with a 21, and the 21 pushes space back. So I'm probably 2 feet away, and I'm getting into the crowd. So this book is about the crowds in Midtown. The crowds in Midtown. Okay. So, and why did I like this? And why did I put it on the cover? I loved her gesture, her lean into the guy, and his lean into my frame up there. So I saw a parallel there, and then all the other faces and stuff to look at. Okay, so this is a rainy evening. I went to Midtown around Christmas a lot when there's throngs of people. Fifth Avenue, a lot of this is Fifth Avenue, and use flash. These could maybe be darker and slow. I use slow shutter. I use low flash sometimes and flash up high. Handheld flash off the camera with my Leicas, with all shot with a 21 millimeter lens. And Probably not talking to people much, but they see me. You'll see. Uh, okay, it's kind of twilight. So this is 5 o'clock, 4:30
Wow.
in December around Christmas. Most of these, several years. Here, the flash was from below. No, no, probably a little higher than her. And I usually print this darker where her face radiates and is white, and there's a lot of darkness around her. This is and I'm shooting a lot at Lincoln's Rockefeller Center, and I just like the building being her hat or coming out of her head. Usually you say, and I say when I teach, don't have anything coming out of one's head in the background, a tree, a limb, a person. But this is this so iconic building, tilted. I'm low, I got low, and the flash is from underneath. So it almost gives a ghoulish effect. And I like the buildings looming over her and one lit, and these two side buildings just kind of facing each other and hovering darkly. And she probably didn't know what hit her. This is got to be a daughter and a mother, and don't they look the same and the same sad face? And this face is going to be like that face in another 20 years. And they're moving. This is on the sidewalk, walking. I would walk the sidewalks and walk by people and photograph quickly with flash. And I did this at the San Gennaro Festival downtown on probably Mulberry Street and at night. I was just there, as I said, Saturday during the day. And there's a big church there. This is near the church, but here are amusements and food and games. And I liked her, and I put the flash underneath her and shot up. Or the light went up, and I was above her photograph. This was on Fifth Avenue. This is maybe this is not quite dark. So you have a sky that's not quite dark. And again, you can see the catch light in the eye is below, like at 6 o'clock, and their shadows are being projected on the wall behind them. So it's a flash below. And I don't want to overdo it, but I do like that. This is on Fifth Avenue, quick shot. I'm coming right at them, flash and move. Wide angle lens, 21. And if I crop a face, it doesn't really bother me. And this is another rainy night on Fifth Avenue. Shooting in the rain, we should do that more than we do shooting in the snow. I don't love it. It's hard on things, on me, on the equipment, but there's lots of possibilities. The cold, snowy, cold days. I try to go out in snow, and especially when it's over, and use the white landscape as something different than what we usually see. This is San Gennaro. I like the hovering face. I like faces, large, close, out of focus, maybe, focused on her and shot her as an angel. I don't. She was in a costume. Maybe this was a religious procession. There were those then, and even on Saturday, I photographed a religious procession through San Gennaro on Mulberry Street. Fifth Avenue, definitely. I think this is mother and daughter also here. So it's quick, and the streaks are from a slow shutter. This is probably a 15th of a second, maybe probably 15th is a good place to be if you're doing handheld flash and wanting some blur. The flash freezes them. The flash lights them up. Hopefully something's in focus. The mother's not, but the daughter is, and that's good enough for me. I like this photograph a lot. I think this is one of my better ones. Just like close and sharp, and then how it falls off into this crowd of people. And I'm not sure where these lights come from. This is maybe they have cell phones. We had cell phones when I shot this, and then the darkness. I think this works really well. I like this picture. And the multitudes, and then faceless. They become anonymous, lost in the crowd. So again, it was about crowds and being close. This is San Gennaro. They have an evening procession where they take icons out of the church and move them somewhere, or put them on floats, or maybe take them off the floats and bring them back into the church. It's been a while since I've done this. And here's another. I know they were bringing this figurine into the church, and I knew that was going to happen, and I was standing on the steps that they were bringing it into, and then did a few shots and then got out of the way. And this is the final image, which I like. Not quite sure. It's sharp. It's hard to get sharpness if you're shooting at an eighth or a 15th of a second. Good. Yeah. Okay. I think that's the last image. So there's three projects. One is a book. Two, I'm hopeful. I'm working on them now and approaching publishers. It's harder now to get published, I think, than before, because there's so many more people doing it. Let me, I'm going to unshare. We'll stop the share and we can talk.
Very nice work, Harvey.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? I could talk a little more if we have time.
Do you ever run into problems on the streets, especially in New York,
No.
with people not wanting to be photographed? Or
Well, they might say, and they're usually nice. They might not. I've never been attacked or threatened. I wear shoes, tennis shoes, so I can still run away. Uh, um, you know, it's, Manhattan's harder to photograph than in Brooklyn. I'd say 50% of the people don't like to be photographed in New York, but it depends on your approach. I like to go up to people, and I don't ask them, but I nod, or I say, I like your shirt. I'd like to photograph you. I give them a compliment. And I kind of mean it. I don't try not to make up compliments. I want to feel it and mean it. And I don't shoot nearly everyone I see. They have to be interesting to me, and that doesn't mean beautiful or ugly, or just maybe a little different what they're wearing, how their look is. I've been shooting on the street recently, and I'm surprised how friendly people are. And I do go to events. I go to parades. I rarely photograph the parade. I'm photographing the peripheral. I'm photographing the spectators. I'm photographing, and I get there at least an hour before, and where they're forming up at the beginning of the parade. And they're there, and they're dressing in costume, they're in costume, and they're there and with nothing to do but wait till it starts. So they're pretty amenable. And if it's a parade, they're probably happy. It's a parade about their country or their neighborhood or something. So I try to go to events where there's gatherings of people, where I'll find people. I'm not going to walk on Park Avenue or Madison Avenue particularly. There's not a lot of people. Fifth Avenue, I'm rarely on also. I like Brooklyn. I like the Lower East Side. Uh, Brooklyn's great. Coney Island, certainly. So, yeah,
Do you shoot the Mermaid Parade?
yes, every year. I'm there every year. Yeah. I shoot the Mermaid Parade in Coney Island. They have the polar bear swim January 1st. I'm there. I'm at most of the major parades. There's like the Afro American Parade in Harlem. I'll photograph that, and I'm welcome. I did a book on Harlem, all black people, all from Harlem, and I never had a problem. Never had a problem. It was amazing. I think, and I try to be friendly. I talk to people. I smile. I don't want to be phony, and I don't talk a lot, but I get to my business, and they appreciate that. And if they don't like it, they'll say no, not today, or no. I mean, usually, and I won't push it. I won't push it. I might try to convince them if they're spectacular, and if they're spectacular, they'll want to be photographed. And you learn who wants to be photographed and who doesn't, in a way. You never can tell though. Yeah, yeah. And I teach this street photography class. I teach a class at ICP also on how to get a book published. Again, it's harder and harder, and things have changed a little bit, a lot. So, but you keep trying, and I still love being on the streets. And I mean, I've shot so much, I don't need to shoot more, but I just I think I need to get out and about and still, while I can, to do it. Why not? So it's great. Photography, as you guys know, is wonderful. New York is pretty wonderful. So let's use what we have here. I feel I wouldn't be a photographer if I didn't live in New York. Again, I'm from Pittsburgh. I didn't know. I started photography when I was in the army in Germany. I bought a camera, as I think I said, and I knew nothing about photography. I knew I wanted to do some kind of art. I tried to paint. I did ceramics. I wrote, and I wasn't very good at any of them. And I picked up a camera while I was in the army, and I said, "Wow, I like this. This is cool." And shot in Europe, not very well, scenes and travel. And but then I got back to New York and took a couple classes, and
Harvey, I
yeah,
have a question. You certainly have a style,
yeah,
up close and personal. And
yeah,
so many of your photographs, you could have a half of a face, part of an arm. And keep on thinking about when we get our competitions and how a judge might say, well, wait a minute,
yeah,
don't leave, you left the elbow out. But you have
yeah,
that style and it seems to work for you. But, I have some resistance to that.
yeah. Well, that's why I never joined a camera club. I don't think I don't talk up camera clubs because of the rules that seem to be in perpetual existence in camera clubs. Maybe there's sometimes not. I like drama, emotion. I like I if I'm 10 feet away, I'm way too far away. Long lenses. I don't use long lenses. I never have. I miss things probably. Sometimes I wish I had them. But yeah, rules. I don't like rules. We have to just try to break those rules. Look at Bruce Gilden for one. You know his work, how close he gets, how bad he makes people look. I don't try to make people look bad. And I don't try to make them look good. I take them as they are. But I mean, you know,
Do you still prefer um, film over digital?
I do, but I just got a Leica Q3, which is an expensive digital camera. I'm not liking it as much as I hoped I would. It's a little slow. It falls asleep, and then if there's a grab shot, I miss the shot maybe because it has to wake up, and that's a pain. With my film cameras, it's always ready, you know. But digital is easier. You see what you're getting, you can make corrections. Uh, and I think that digital makes life easier, which is good. And you can get used to that. I'm developing film. I have a film developing room right behind me. That's an hour and a half, a lot of mornings, a couple times a week. I'm always behind. It's not immediate like digital is. It's expensive. The digital cameras are so much better than the film cameras in the sense of, I think, sharpness and digital, you can manipulate everything. I still do darkroom work. I mean, I go into the darkroom 9 in the morning and come out at 7, 8 at night with a half hour off for a sandwich. I'm on my feet all day. It's a tough day. It's a tough day. It's great. I say, why am I doing? And I come out with 9 prints, you know.
Someone just
You
asked,
mentioned gesture quite a few times. Gesture is something that Jay Maisel talks about a lot.
Yeah.
Are you aware of his work and how
Yeah.
would you
No,
compare?
he's not influenced me. I don't know his work that well. I always thought he was very commercial. I'm not commercial at all. You know, and gesture, yeah, if I see, I love someone holding their hand up to their eyes, shading the sun, pointing. I like that. Uh, Gesturing with their hands. That's wonderful. It's not always easy to get. And I go up to people and then they freeze, you know, so that's hard. But I try to be casual and loose and tell them just to be yourself, but sometimes that doesn't work. I like I like I like to talk to people at times, and then sometimes you don't have that. You can't get that, and I shoot a scene, but I want I want a connection, I guess, and to make there's a flow between us, an interchange in some way. Like Arbus, I would say Diane Arbus did a lot of that, getting close. And Gilden overdoes it with his ugly faces, and you know. So, but yeah, I think as Marlene said, I think a style is really important and a way of shooting. Some, you know, it just comes naturally. I don't force it. I just try to be myself and try to shoot what I like. And I'm shooting for myself. I'm not doing anything commercially. I never have. I've had some jobs, I've had some assignments.
No.
I do what they want, but I don't like it. I don't really like doing
by
it.
the
So,
way, by the way, Harvey, I really enjoyed those images from Chandelier,
oh
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it was also Varanasi.
yeah. You were in Varanasi.
Oh, yes, and it was very familiar.
Yeah, and did
By
you
the
go?
way, I just want to let the club know that's one of my favorite trips to go with Harvey to India.
Yeah, I may not go anymore. I've done 10 times, you know, but
You
we'll
might
see.
have reached your limit.
Well, I'm doing Nepal. I'm doing Bangladesh. I might do Vietnam again. I might do Greece again. People want to do that. Yeah, I love these trips. Have you gone on other trips,
Yes,
Marlene?
yes,
Yeah.
but I got the email about Bangladesh, so I'm looking to see if anyone wants to go with me.
Wow, that would be great.
Oh, I just see a hand raised. Okay, we'll talk about it, Betsy.
From what I know about it, it's an amazing place. Yeah. I know a really good photographer there, and he's going to take us around a little bit. And I don't know, do you remember Namish? Was Namish our
Yes.
travel agent?
Hmm.
He's fabulous. I'm so lucky. I have great guides, great travel agent. Namish comes with us all the time. And so you were in Varanasi and in Chandaleo,
Yeah,
right?
I love Chandelier.
Uh,
I love that place.
little village, just a
Yeah,
little village. No one would ever go to, but it had a
right.
little hotel. It was fabulous. It was, yeah, it was good. So,
Harvey, how big is your apparatus? I came in a little late. I mean, how big is your flash, for instance?
I used a Vivitar 285, small for the black and whites.
Hmm.
Vivitar 285. I don't know if they even make it. It's not for digital. It's for film. It's a film. I don't know that there's a difference. And I have the Canon 680. I forget. A small Canon that I attach to the top of the 5D. I
Uh-huh.
shoot flash. I have shot with the my digital Canon with a flash on the flash shoe above the lens because I don't want to carry it, and the camera's pretty big, and so I don't mind the flash on the flash shoe on the top of the camera. With a Leica is small, and I have a small flash, and I can do that. But the 5D with the telephoto, it's not a telephoto, it's a zoom lens, 16 to 35. It's pretty heavy, so I just decided to put the flash on top of the camera. It's not big, 685. I forget. I haven't used it in a while because I'm not using flash much anymore. I think it gets in the way. But if I shoot with the Canon, I'll use flash. And I use the flash during the day for flash fill. So I
Mhm.
need just a little flash. So you don't need a big flash. I like, in sunlight and the eyes get at noon or 1 or 2 o'clock, the eyes get dark with shadow if you don't use flash. I just want a touch of flash to open up the eyes. So a small little flash, which I, uh, go into B&H and talk to them, what might just be perfect. It depends on what you want to use it for, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Do you use flash?
Intermittently, but not very much at all.
Yeah. I've stopped doing it because I don't know, I did it and it's fine. But I still in India I used it all the time during the day. And of course at night too. But mostly we shot during the day. We were so tired by evening time. We were ready to have dinner and just relax. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring I have let me share my screen and this is my list. Oops, okay, let's get rid of this. My list is my email, hsteinphoto at AOL. I'm on Instagram at stein.harvey if you'd like to follow me. I haven't been doing much lately, but I have a lot of I have thousands of images on Instagram. Facebook, I'm not on much. My website, harveysteinphoto.com. And here are my books. And I'm doing a class starts November 4th at ICP, the fundamentals of portraiture. And that includes different kinds of portraiture, street photo portraiture, self-portraiture. Every session deals with a different aspect of portraiture, color, black and white, film, digital, whatever. And I teach at the Los Angeles Center of Photography remotely, and I'm doing a class on how to get a photo book published. And that starts November 5th, the day after I start my ICP workshop. And that's 7 sessions, 3 hours a week for 7 weeks. So I'm pretty active. I'm still very active. And I just love photography. I love doing it. So I'll unshare. Yeah. Great. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for Harvey?
One quick question. What film stock do you shoot?
I use FP4. It's Ilford FP4. It's 125 ISO, but I rated it at 100. I used to use 400, a Tri-X or HP5, but I wanted to get the grain down. I tend to overexpose, so and probably overdevelop a little, so my images can be a little grainy, but it seems to work. What do you use film?
Yes. I shoot Trax 400 and Kodak Gold.
Oh, Kodak. That's color, the
Yep.
gold, right? Is that film camera?
Yep.
Is it color film? Wow. And so you have it developed, and then do you print in the color darkroom at all, or no?
I haven't done any printing lately. I just got back into film after a long hiatus,
Oh yeah.
and I'm hoping to. But there's a community darkroom, and I hope to get access to.
Film's coming back a little bit from what
Oh,
that's good. But it is a pain. I mean, it's slow going compared to digital. Digital, you have it right away. I mean, if I shoot, let's say I shoot today film, I might develop the role in a month or two or 6 months. Then I might make a contact sheet in another 6 months. Then I might make a print 2 years after that. So it could be 1, 2, 3 years, unless it's a special project you're working on. It's slow, and that's what we had. And that's what I've been raised on, and that's what I really enjoy and love. But if I were new to photography, I'm sure I would start digitally, and that's what most people do now. I think they miss a lot, and they don't understand photography as well as we did. You know, getting in the darkroom, you have to understand film a little more than they've never even been in a darkroom, these kids, right? So maybe they don't know what they're missing, and maybe that's okay, you know. So yeah. Marilyn, are you still there?
Marilyn, you're muted. Marilyn, unmute yourself.
Oh, is she still there? I want her to ask me.
Marilyn, unmute yourself.
She can't hear us.
She can hear us, but she's having trouble unmuting, but I can't unmute her.
No. Okay. All right. Good.
she's unmuted.
Oh, Marilyn, are you there? Can you hear me?
She's not unmuted. She's muted.
Okay. Too bad.
Okay, folks, thank you very much, Harvey. It was a great presentation.
Great. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and I hope
Good
you
luck.
enjoyed the images as much as I did.
Yeah.
And remember, no meeting next week, business meeting in 2 weeks, and our first yearly competition on the first Monday in October, the 6th. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy the weather and stay healthy.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
seeing you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Harvey.
Thank you.